Hi, this is Renee from Custom Scraps by Renee, and I'm back today to do another inking and chalking of a paper piecing piece from that set called Alice in Wonderland, and it's from Marjorie Ann Designs. And today we're going to do the Mad Hatter, and I should have had my inks out, but I didn't take them out, so that's my fault, and I'm sorry. It'll take me just a minute to grab them. Okay, so we are going to start with the skin, and I'm going to use Catherine Puller's, and it's going to be Clay Mask is the color, and it goes on kind of dark, but it does lighten up. And I'm just going to darken up the edge. And this is where you can stop with your inking, you know, once you get the edge darkened up. But I do like to try to lightly go in and blend some color in to the piece, so it has just a little more ink on it rather than just on the very end. But I don't want it dark. I want it to kind of just be kind of blend into a lighter, from dark to light. So when you hold my dauber perpendicular to my paper piece, and I do with a light touch. And go around, and you can see that I just have some ink coming further in from the edge. Kind of hard to do that with the nose. At least I could find it when it flipped out. And just put a little bit of color. This one's low enough, you can kind of do it at the same time. Okay. And these little things that I keep the sponge daubers in, I got from Michael's, but you can get them from Hobby Lobby too, and they're for jewelry. But the sponge daubers fit in them perfectly, and they come in a container that has a lid that fits on it. I don't think, oh yeah. And I just have all of my inks with the name on them, so I know which one it is, so I don't get them confused. And I keep my I think my inking then stays truer to form. And this is a new color. And this is called Mardi Gras. And almost looks the exact same color, so I guess we'll kind of see how it this is a brand new stamp, so it's pretty wet. So I'm just going to stamp off some of it before I do, because you don't want a whole bunch of, if you try to blend it and your dauber has too much ink, then it'll just get too much ink, and it'll look not as well blended. That's a pretty color. We'll see how it dries, how close it is to. And these are just had a little bow tie. It's hard to blend on a dot. And then these are his pant legs. Take this ink instead. And I do like Catherine Puller inks. I know that they're not archival inks, but they're dye inks, and so they will fade like all dye inks fade. But she has so many colors that there's such a wide variety to choose from that, you know, I don't think the ink is going to fade anytime soon. I doubt it'll fade anytime soon within my lifetime. So, and just use a light touch when you're blending in your ink. If you push too hard, then you'll end up with the dauber rings from your sponge dauber. I have really dark. No, that's dark enough. And this is his shirt. was the color Spruce. I just hate how ink gets all over your hands. I know there's not really a whole lot you can do about it, unless you wear gloves. And I have tried to ink with gloves on, and it's almost impossible to do. And now I'll ink up his sideburns and his eyebrows. And we're going to use Hoodie as the color. Whoa. And this is his other piece of hair. So we had a whole bunch of rain yesterday, and overall the day I think it was up in the 50s, and today we're in a winter advisory. This weather is just crazy. And I don't know if I told you in my video yesterday that I hung a birdseed house underneath my deck, because my craft room is down here in the basement, and so I hung a bird seeder, and I filled it with supposed to be cardinal food to attract cardinals and blue jays. And I did see a cardinal yesterday. I didn't get to see him very long because the dog rushed outside because the squirrel was out there yesterday too. I was amazed. There must have been a lot of birds because about a third of the feeder is empty already. But I did see a cardinal. I hope it'll bring some blue jays too, because I really like blue jays as well as cardinals. I just don't want to have a whole bunch of the ugly blackbirds that can come and get in the way and chase away all the other birds. And I think that her ink comes off fairly decently. Just a baby wipe. So now we're gonna do his hat, and I'm gonna do it in spiced, and that's down here. I should have had all these out. Didn't get my sponge topper on very good. Well, that's not gonna work. Try it that way. Well, extra. That does not happen very often. In fact, I've never had that happen before. Well, I can't believe Easter is so close. It's just so early this year. I have had diabetes for 20 plus years, and about the last, I bet you it's been the last 10 years that I've had to be on insulin, and I was up as many as 6 shots a day of insulin. And I don't know what else to say, but I prayed really hard to God to help me with my diabetes, and I have, over the last year, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with my son's death as well, but I've lost like 50 pounds over the last year, and my hemoglobin A1C has dropped tremendously, and I was at the kidney doctor 2 weeks ago, and she took me off of all of the insulin that I had been taking, and now I only have to do 1 injection a week. And I'm just amazed that I've been able to do that after being a diabetic for so long. And I just thank God every day that He helped me reach that point in my life where, I am now in control of it, and I don't have to worry as much about it, you know, because it's a frightening disease. One doctor said that he used to work with, you know, he said diabetes is terrible. It kills you one day at a time, you know, and like, great, you know, and I even went so far as to have gastric bypass surgery to get rid of the diabetes. And I think it stayed away for about 4 years before it came back. And so I guess I was fortunate for 4 years for the gastric bypass surgery to work. But whatever I've done this time is, I think, even more permanent, I don't know, than gastric bypass surgery, because you know, and they say that a lot of people that have gastric bypass surgery will put back on a percentage of the weight, and I did. I didn't put back on all the weight, but I put back on a lot of it, and it's taken me 2 years to lose the weight, but this last year is when I have really lost the weight, and I think that in itself has really helped my diabetes. So I'm pretty excited over not having to give myself so many shots in a day. And as long as I keep watching my blood sugar and make sure that it doesn't start going up, she said, then all I have to do is take Trulicity once a week. And I do have a little side effects from it, a little nausea, upset stomach, but hopefully those will go away as I get used to it, because this is the highest dose that they offer, and so if I can tolerate it. So that was exciting news. And then, just telling you all exciting news, I went to see my rheumatologist because I have polymyalgia rheumatica, which is an autoimmune disorder. And what it is it's actual inflammation of the muscles. I have fibromyalgia too, and you know, fibromyalgia is just where you have pain, and I think to this day they still don't know where the pain comes from, but they used to call it like myofascia pain, because they thought it came from the muscles. You know, and I think with all the research that they're doing, they're finding that it's more of a neurological type of where it manifests. But the polymyalgia rheumatica is actual inflammation of your muscles, and it was so bad for me before it was diagnosed that I couldn't even take off my shirt. Dave, my husband, had to help me get it up over my shoulders because I couldn't lift my arms up because it hurt so bad, and walking was completely out of reach because my legs hurt so bad, the muscles in my legs, and I couldn't, like the hatchback on my car or my Jeep, I couldn't even pull it down enough to shut it because the pain was just so intense, and it was the worst pain that I had ever felt. And I thought it was just my fibro, and I thought, oh, is this what I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life? I was not very happy about the prospect of being in pain like that for the rest of my life. And then I went to my pain doctor, and he said the next time you go see your primary, you should have him check to see if you have polymyalgia rheumatica, because it sounds like maybe you do. And yeah, he's a different the pain doctor. He doesn't do any tests or anything himself, but he always refers those on. So I went back to my primary, and he ran the tests, and they were slightly elevated, but not a whole lot. And so he said, I don't think you have it. And I said, they're elevated, please. That's where my pain is coming from. So I went ahead and I called my rheumatologist and said, can you please look at these numbers and, you know, tell me? And he said, yeah, I think you do. And he prescribed me prednisone, and within 3 days, I was like a whole new person because of the prednisone and how well that it worked so quickly. I was amazed that it worked as quick as it did. So I am slowly titrating up the prednisone now. I have 1 more month, and then I should be off of it. And as long as it doesn't come back. Now we're just going to put them together. And these are his pants. And these are little soles of the shoes. It's just amazing how paper piecing has evolved over the years. When I look back at some of the original paper piecing files that I purchased when paper piecing first came out, and compared to how it is now, it's just really such a change. I mean, the files are much more complicated and much more realistic, many more pieces. It's really amazing. I'm just going to piece those. just really a slow poke. Not go there. And of course I had one that didn't cut out very well. That happens to be this one. fill in between them with little shorter lashes. Again. And I used an 03 micron pen, and I'm going to use it to outline the lash area. And then I have my neutral gray Pan Pastel. And I'd start at the bottom and go up to the top. It'd be thicker down at the bottom and go to thinner at the top. I think I got a little too much. Just always erase it off. Magenta Pan Pastels. And I do this just because I like the way it looks. It's not something that you have to do, but I run the magenta right along the same line that I did the brush, the black, or the neutral gray, I should say. And then I'll give them just a little bit of blush. And then we'll do his eyes. And I'm using a Signo Uniballer. I used to use these a long time ago, and then I went to Jelly Roll pens, and I did not like the Jelly Roll pen, so I went back to these. And secret with these is a really light touch. The better ink flow you get when you with the lighter. Now we can do just a little bit of highlighting as his eyes are drawn. It looks kind of square. And I kind of like to do a little highlighting around the eyes. I try not to get into the Pan Pastel, but as you can see, I have. It's just gives them a little bit more brightness. Into the eyes. And then just a teeny tiny bit down the middle. And that brightens up his face a little bit. And if you get too much of the titanium white, you can always erase it off. And then I have a little Imagine brush stick, and it looked like a pencil tip. And I just dip it in there and make one little dot here and one little dot there, and give them that little shadow in their eye. And now we can glue his hair on. And then we can put his hat on. Well, in here, I don't want it to dry out. And then I have the diamond glaze that I put over the black part of the eyes. And this is a dimensional glaze. I don't know if you can tell on. Here's the Queen of Hearts that we did yesterday. And if I bring her up there, you can definitely see the gloss. But if I turn her sideways, I don't know if you guys can see that the eyes have a little bit of a bulge in them. And that's just the dimensional part of the eyes. I think they came out really pretty. And the same with the floral mouth. You can see his eyes, and then if I turn it sideways, if you can, I don't know if you guys can see. So that's our Mad Hatter. I'm gonna put them up here to dry. And if you like what you see, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, if you like what you saw, please hit that like button. And I just want to thank everybody, my regular followers and my new subscribers. I'll be back probably tomorrow with a new video as I keep going through this Alice in Wonderland set from Marjorie Ann Designs. And I just want to have everybody have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.